10, 9.
You want answers? I want the truth!
Get ready for two guys who can't handle the truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
But we can. Dave Palumbo, Chris Aceto. RxMuscle.com presents Heavy Muscle Radio.
Welcome to another episode of Heavy Muscle Radio. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined, as always, by the technician, Chris Aceto, on this June 29th, 2020 evening. And Chris, it seems like we're back in quarantine again. What's going on here, man?
Come on, Dave. It's. I'm generally not a half empty. What's that? Half full, half empty guy.
Yeah.
I went out downtown this afternoon.
Right.
Typical summer day today. You'd have thousands of people out just milling around, going into stores, shops, restaurants, bars, cafes, bookstores, in and out of just looking around at hotels, looking at water fountains. There were probably, seriously, 50 people out today. 50.
Wow.
50.
Did they have masks on?
Yeah, most everyone did. Everyone did. It was dead.
Do you guys have an outbreak there? I mean, like,
No, we don't.
Dead. That's the weird thing.
It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all.
So I'm shocked that people are not going out in Portland, because people out here are going out, and we have a little bit of an outbreak here now in Florida. There's been a lot of cases. So, and you know what? Here's the issue with the whole thing, Chris. Everyone's trying to make a big deal, and I'm on the same bandwagon. There's not a lot of people dying of this. We know that, all right? We know that it's mostly the elderly people who are, there's immunocompromised people that are dying. The problem is, though, if you get the virus,
It's just the old people.
There's residual effects of it. So most people are going to recover from it fine, but there's residual. Look at Guy Cisternino. Clots. That's the main thing. Clots. Got the clot in his leg. People get clots in their heart. They get a heart attack. People get a clot in their head. They get a stroke and die. So there's residual damage to this thing. So you don't really want to get the virus, even though most 90, probably 8% of the people are going to recover from this thing.
Yeah.
Everybody. I see people flying on airplanes now. I'm not going to mention names. I see people in our industry flying on airplanes places. I think they're out of their minds. July
1st, American Airline goes to, if we're full. They were doing social distancing at first.
Right.
Now they're just, we're going to pack them in. We need to, because we're just going bankrupt.
I don't know how they could say.
Do you want to sit? You're a germaphobe. I can't imagine you sitting this close.
Well,
to someone you don't know.
Yeah. No, my wife is worse than me. Yeah, but I probably would like suit up. I put like a hazmat suit on. I'd be fine. But you don't know who you're sitting next to. I mean, really, think about it. And I always get stuck next to the most, disgusting people too. So
you don't know if you're 3 rows back from somebody who's,
I know someone has been flying a lot, and then he told me that the middle seats, I guess no one's allowed to sit in the middle seats, which is still, I mean, you're still until the person.
July 1st, if you go on American, everyone sits next to each other.
Oh, is that the rule?
In July 1st, they're not going to. If the flight is full, they're not going to say, okay, we're going to send a different flight. And
you might as well just, I mean, I got news for you. The one seat in the middle is not saving you anyway. Yeah. So, I mean,
people say, well, it's like a flu. It's like a this, it's like a that. And I say, okay, will you go on a plane? And people, oh, no, not me.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the worst place to go is an airplane. I mean, people talking about gyms are bad. I mean, come on, an airplane, you're stuck with the person for how long?
Yeah. So
and it's recycled air,
That's right.
So, you're in a little bit of discomfort today. I wanted to let people know because you have a little pain in your back, huh?
Yeah, I got this hangnail. No. Yeah, I called you up and I said, Dave, I knew you were going to say, because these are my symptoms. What do you think? Kidney stone.
Yeah.
That's what Dave has diagnosed me, even though you're not a medical doctor. You use your license.
No. I told you, my friend Charlie Arms, I told Chris this story, who's probably the toughest guy that I know. He's the guy who goes to the dentist and doesn't get Novocaine, nothing bothers him. He told me 10 years ago, he said, Dave, I got a kidney stone. He's like, it was the worst pain I've ever been in my life. He goes, and he's the guy who doesn't take pain meds, nothing. he said that it was he couldn't, when he got to the hospital, he was in so much pain that he there was tears coming out of his eyes, and he doesn't cry. He's like, I don't cry. He's like, until they gave me the morphine shot, he goes, I thought I was gonna literally, I wanted to be put to death. That's how bad the pain was. Now, I don't think you're that bad yet, but that's why I said, probably a good idea to get it checked out, because it could get worse.
I'm on a 7.
Yeah, you're on a 7.
7 or 6. In terms of 10 being absolutely unbearable, right. I'd say 6.5.
You could, who the kidney stone expert is?
Who?
In our industry?
George Farrar.
Steve Blackman.
Oh, well, I thought because George had lost a kidney.
He had a lot. He blamed the kidney stones he had on some company that was advertising an MD that sent him free protein. He was convinced that they spiked it with calcium or something like that, and he was drinking a shake every morning. I said, "You're drinking one shake." I said, I'm telling you, there's too much calcium in here. I got a calcium stone. So he had to actually have a lithotripsy, I think it's called, where they actually, blast it with sound waves and break up the stone, if you can't pass it,
I didn't know he was so sensitive to calcium.
I didn't either. Now, but he's gotten multiple ones. I don't believe it was from the protein, but I would drink a little. Well, at this point, you have the stone already, so it's kind of hard to break it up. But keeping the acidity level of your body lower is helpful. But
apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegars. I was going to suggest that, but right now, probably I don't know if anything's going to help it. If there is a little stone in it, the thing that's unnerving is you could pass the stone, but you'll actually pee out the stone. It's like you ever see these guys from the Old West where they would go with the panning for gold.
Yeah.
And they go in the rivers and the streams. They take pans and they try to catch pieces of gold that was going through the river. That's going to be like you. You're going to they're going to tell you to try to catch the stone. While you're.
Well, it feels like it's the pain. It feels like it's this big. It's probably
it's a teeny. But think about what your urethra size is.
I know.
Did you ever have a catheter put up your penis?
Not yet.
You're lucky. Okay. I had 1 or 2 in my day just because from surgery and stuff like that, but it's not comfortable. And I can't even imagine what having a sharp object up there, which is what a stone is, basically why it's so painful.
Well, if I pass the stone, I'll take a picture of it and put it on Instagram. I'll put a rock like this.
You should sell it on eBay. Probably go for a bunch of money. Speaking of, as we're getting older, I have all these problems. There's a woman, 134 years old. Did you see this? Claims to be 134. Well, at least the Chinese government claims that she's 134. I wonder if she got COVID. Let me see if we can find. Hold on. Let me get to pull up the thing here. All right. That's her.
If she doesn't look like a day over 120.
No, she looks great, right? 134-year-old Uyghur. That's where she's from. An Uyghur woman was born in 1886, considered to be the world's oldest woman. Her name is Almahan Sayeti.
Oh, she's a Uyghur. She's probably in a concentration camp over there in China.
She was surrounded by friends and family during a huge birthday party in Shul County in Xinjiang, Japan. China, excuse me. Now I'm gonna get
Yes, you are.
There's her license right there. 1886 is her birthday. Supposedly she was married in 1903 at the age of 17. She has an adopted boy and a girl. Her husband died in 1976. I was in first grade. Her son passed away at the age of 36. Oh, that's sad. So she's in good condition, but she's not able to walk anymore. She has perfect eyesight and good hearing ability. Imagine that. She enjoys playing musical instruments and singing. I should have hooked her up with my dad while he was still alive. Huh. There she is right there. Look at that. Big birthday party for her. You believe
where did that come across your
I don't know.
stratosphere?
I think Amanda posted on Facebook. Do you think that this is legit? They always find out that the oldest people are always
really like 82. She could have dementia and forgot.
I
right?
heard Al Beckles is 135 years old,
Yeah,
but it's not confirmed.
I thought Samir confirmed that he's 82.
Yeah, I don't know. It's possible. But he might be one of those guys that reaches 134 years old because he's in such good shape.
He'll still be attending the Olympia.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, it's good that people are living a longer time. I think that eventually the lifespan of humans, I think it's about 150 years old. Like, I think that's like the oldest we can live.
Yeah.
The key is getting people to 150, but functional at 150.
Of course.
Now, in order to do that, here's the thing, that the irony: if we're meant to live to 150 years old, why would we get old so fast? In other words, why does our face and our whole body get shrivel up? Like at whatever it is, 70 years old or whatever it is, 60. Everyone's different.
I don't know. You tell me.
That's like, because that's only half your lifespan.
Lack of moisturizers.
Maybe we got to figure out how to regenerate the skin a little bit.
Yeah.
If we're going to live that long, I don't know if I want to be 150 years old. If I'm like a prune, and I can't move, I want to be able to function a little bit. At 150, she at least can hear and see, which is good. Because a lot of older people can't. Right.
That's right. Of course.
Well, now they could do the cataract surgeries. Are very,
They could do. They can rebuild your cataract surgery, shoulder surgery, knee surgery, hip surgery.
Speaking of which, I had a phone call the other day with a pretty popular person, Hulk Hogan.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, my good friend Mel Chansey. Is very close with Hulk.
You had a phone call for the show, or just a personal phone call?
No, it's a personal phone call. He has having some shoulder problems, and he wanted to ask me about. Mel had told him that I got my shoulder. Hulk lives right there in Tampa area.
I thought he saw your show on Race and was going to weigh in on it.
That would have been great.
Remember when his daughter? I think she dated a black guy, and he freaked out.
Oh, did he? I didn't even know.
Oh yeah, of course. Went nuts.
That is.
Unfortunately, they got it on tape.
Oh, it was one of those.
Yeah,
not good.
So what do you have to say?
Nothing. He's had like a million surgeries. The guy. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, people think wrestling is like very glamorous, but
gosh,
the truth is those guys get the crap beat out of them. And he's got 2 knee replacements, 2 hips. What else was he telling me? Yeah. There he is. He's got 2 knees, 2 hips. He's got like 5 back surgeries. I was like, oh, at least you're not as bad as Ronnie Coleman. He goes, speaking of Ronnie Coleman, he goes, I saw, he's offering, to, if you buy his book, he'll sign it and write anything you want in it. I said, oh yeah, I heard that. I told him he's crazy because that's why he can't ship the books out on time. I said, because he's too busy writing like 6 paragraphs that these people want him to write in the book. I told him to limit it to 1 sentence. He goes, why? I told him, I bought a book. I said, I want you to write to the greatest bodybuilder of all time, Hulk Hogan. I said, that's pretty good. He goes, yeah, if the greatest calls you the greatest, what does that make him? I said, well, second rate. I said, I guess he's second place then if you're the greatest. So anyway, he has like he has one shoulder that's horrendous. Now it's funny. The way he's describing it is it sounds like mine. Like when people describe how bad the shoulders, and I'm like, well, I had 2 of them. They're like that. Hulk.
Yeah, so you're the go-to guy. You're the expert.
Yeah. So I said, look, this guy is Dr. Frankel is literally in your backyard. You can't get any better than that. I said, go see him. He'll love you. He's a bodybuilder. I said, he'll change your life, because shoulder pain is one of these weird things. It's very, very uncomfortable because you do so much. That arm joint is like it's not like a hinge joint.
Yeah. What's it called? That's what I'm doing this.
But it's like a I forget what it's called too. It's got an name. And when you can't, because you do so many things with your shoulder that you don't even realize on a daily basis until you can't do it, that it's debilitating. And when you lay in bed, okay, there's no comfortable position when it gets to that point where it's really, really bone on bone. I put mine off for 8. I don't know how I did it.
How long did you put it off for?
Probably 18, almost 20 years, I think. I've been dealing with it. They told me I needed a shoulder replacement back in probably like
when you're getting second in the NPC USA like 4 years ago.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right around before that. They said, you need a shoulder replacement. I'm like, well, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
So like,
bodybuilding, I don't have time.
you know what the guy said? He goes, put it off as long as you can. As long as you're not. I said, well, I'm not in pain at rest. Back then, it only hurt when I worked out.
So what was the straw that broke the camel's back where you said, I just need a new shoulder?
Yeah, because I couldn't sleep. When it started to the point where I couldn't find a comfortable position at night, I would roll from one side to another side, and I'm like, "There's no comfortable side anymore." I said, "This is ridiculous." It didn't do that for many years. It just started at a certain point.
I guess like 17 years it didn't, because that's why you put it off.
No, yeah, it didn't hurt at night. It would just hurt in the gym and when I was doing physical activity, or anything overhead hurt. I've had to reach up. I like even putting you should see how I used to put my suitcases in the overhead compartment.
I used to say, you said wing it, like a discus.
I would have to use momentum to swing it up there. I knew it was bad when some little old lady helped me get the thing out. She's like, I'll get it for you. I'm like 250 pounds, and this fucking little old lady probably was 134 years old. She was pulling it out of the overhead compartment.
I'll take it for you, Dave. I listen to your show. I love it. Let me get it for you.
So hopefully the Hulkster will get a shoulder fixed up too. But
the Hulksters don't have that wacky, crazy house on the water.
I imagine so. I imagine so.
You're close to him. You should go down and do like that. You know what? People would like the Dave Palumbo tour of the Hulk Hogan house.
I know.
You could talk about all your injuries.
Yeah,
your injuries and his injuries.
Mel's friends with him. I respect his privacy. Maybe one of these days we'll get him on the TV show. If he gets a new shoulder and it works out. But it was kind of cool because I had never spoken to him directly. I'd seen him before, but I never really spoken to him directly. And it was kind of weird because like I'm on the phone with like Hulk Hogan and Amanda's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, Hulk Hogan.
Is that where Mel gets that inspired mustache? Because Mel wears the
Mel looks like Mel and him look like
they look like brothers. They do look alike.
And Mel downsized a lot too, so which is smart, obviously. And I love Mel, and I mean it's so funny that I became friends with Mel. Mel moves down to Florida, like 20 minutes from like where I eventually moved down to as well. And when he moved down, I wasn't moving down here, And then Hulk lives right there too. It's like everyone's in that like West Coast now, like area, and it's odd. It's very odd that we were all in the same place. So anyway, that was my celebrity phone call. Hulk was like one of the guys like when I was growing up because I used to watch the Rocky movies, and obviously Hulk was in that Rocky 3 movie. And of course, you watched all the wrestling, Hulk versus Andre the Giant, in WrestleMania 2. So that was one of the guys I kind of looked up to just because I liked his persona that he created. Maybe not his physique as much as his persona. And so it's kind of cool to be friends with like guys like him, Lou Ferrigno. Those were like the guys the only other person I could add to that list would be Stallone. Yeah, those are the 3 guys I really liked a lot as a kid, coming up. And I just thought they were cool, And I'm not one of these guys that like I'm not like a worshiper, a fan worshiper.
You're not a groupie.
I admired them and aspired to be like them, but I didn't. It wasn't like I was like a rock concert, like worship guy. But it's funny that I can communicate and interact with them now. That's like
you should. I'm telling you, you should ask Mel, or you should go directly to Hulk Hogan and tell him that you want to do like, if people want to see your house, they want to see how you live.
Maybe
he'd probably love it too, because
he might. I don't know. It would be awesome though if we can do it. Although with COVID thing, it's like crazy now. I don't want to go anywhere.
Oh, that's right.
We could do a virtual tour. He could send me a cell phone video of his house.
So what's your go ahead.
Thank God for real estate now. All they have these virtual tours now. You don't have to even go and see the house anymore.
Yeah, I know. But who's going to buy a house on?
I know.
On video. It's like saying, "Here's the bride." You get to see her on video.
Right, but at least you don't have to go. You can actually see and scope out what your prospective ones are. In other words, back in the day, you would go see everything probably. Right. True. You'd love that, Chris. But now you can kind of say, all right, you know what? This house doesn't quite, it's a shithole. I'm not going to go see this one,
Yeah.
So what's your take? I mean, I hate to be the naysayer and the bearer of bad news and the person who's going to be like, foo-foo, but you don't think Tampa's going to happen, you told me.
You know why?
How could it happen?
What's that? How could it or how could it
can
not?
happen at this point? They're closing down Florida. I don't know.
Well,
I'm worried.
It goes back to this. Anytime you're in doubt, it reverts to, hi, you call up your lawyer or your insurance agent and you say, hi, I would like to have XYZ going on. What are my options? The lawyer's going to tell you what? You have no options. He's going to tell you there's too many health risks. That's, whether he knows that as a fact or not, it's the first go-to default that what are you going to do to, according to the CDC, blah, 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 measures to make sure that nobody, spreads this virus.
Right.
I mean, what are they going to do? Have people sitting 6 feet apart and then 6 next to each other, then 6 rows back, another.
Well, how are you going to get the people there? That's what I'm wondering, How do you get to to Tampa? I mean, you have to fly in, right? I mean,
if Tampa does not go off, the Olympia chance of going off just cratered 50-50.
Yeah.
Mark my words. If Tampa does not go, the chances of, I don't care. You know what? December is not
around the corner.
Way off in the
It's around the
horizon.
corner. Yeah.
It's seconds away. And that show is at risk if Tampa doesn't go.
Yeah.
Because it also sets a precedent for, okay, Tampa didn't happen.
Right.
So why didn't it happen? Well, we wanted to be safe. Well, what's so much safer? I mean, where does this all end?
Now, I'm looking at this IFBB schedule here. Maybe I can pull it up here. Hold on. And I'm seeing a lot of shows that are in the month of July that's coming up. Right? I mean,
Meaning NPC shows or
pro shows. Hold on, here we go. Let's look at
it's
this.
why? Like bikini stuff.
There's Tampa.
Yeah.
That's July 30th. But before that, you got the Korea Pro.
When is that? I think that's canceled already.
Is it July 26th?
Yeah, I don't think it's happening.
And you got this Prestige Crystal Cup that take in Boca. I can't imagine that happening. That's July 25th. I have Omaha Pro. That's Jack the Tony Show, July 18th.
Has that been canceled already? I think so.
Oh, has it? NordCal on July 11th. I don't know why they would have it up here if they're canceled. July 11th, Salt Lake City. What is it called? Wasatch Warrior. So there's a lot of shows coming up. I don't know if they're going to happen though. It's the problem. I feel bad for the athletes, Chris, because you know what? I know that these guys are busting their ass, girls too, to get in shape. They want to compete. I know you're helping people. I'm helping people for these shows. I got guys in Tampa, and I'm concerned. I'm concerned that it's not going to go off. I haven't heard anything from Tim Gardner. I keep having the promoters. I keep having my competitors contact these guys to see what's going on. And as of now, I guess it's still on. But what do we got? We still got a month, I guess, right? Till July 30th. So I guess they're not making the call yet. But I mean, people are booking flights and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's concerning to me.
Yeah, no, it's a cluster.
Yeah,
it's a cluster fucking Florida right now. Parts of Florida.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to close the gyms again? I don't know.
I think I don't think they're going to close I don't think they're going to close things like they did last time. Things that have already opened,
right.
But they're going to put their teeth into. You can't have more than X amount of people. I mean, how many people in a closed area are you allowed to have now? So, like in the Tampa prejudging, how many legally, or by state mandate, can you have?
I don't know. It's a good question. My son's supposed to start VPK kindergarten there, or whatever, pre-kindergarten, in beginning of August, and I don't. We want to send him, obviously, but I don't know if I don't know what the deal is at this point. I don't even know if they're going to even allow them to open the schools at this point. Florida schools start like a month before,
Yeah.
like your schools up there in the north. Your schools. Oh, I'm real Floridian now because I remember New York used to start after Labor Day usually.
Yeah.
You know?
September.
Yeah, but Florida schools start a month early, so I don't even know if they're going to happen. That's because we reached out to the school and they're like, "Well, we don't know what's going to happen at this point." So,
well, we don't know what's going to happen. Is closer to no than yes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's what when people say, "Well, we don't know what that means." Close to the,
Thank God my kids really aren't. My son isn't really. I mean, VPK is optional. It's not like it's regular school, but I feel bad. The kids that are in, going into high school and stuff like that, and sports and
how about the kids? Kids in high school and sports has been canceled in the spring, and I mean those are formative years when you're 15, 16, 17.
Are your kids upset about it, or are they like, "Woof, we don't have to do sports"?
No, they would love to be out, doing sports, hanging with their friends.
I was going to say, what are kids doing now?
Nothing.
Like your kids' age who are into the girls and everything like that. What are they, just texting each other all day?
They do nothing. They
can't hang out, right? I mean,
no, they can't hang out. Yeah. No, because we won't let our kids hang out with those kids, and those kids' parents won't let their kids hang out.
So I mean, what happened? Are they like on the phone all day? I mean, are they talking?
Yeah, they text and email and stuff. But it's not this. That's not socialization. That's just like.
Not. Fantasy. It's like playing a video game, really.
Yeah.
It's like my father had this relationship with this woman for 20 years. He never saw her.
Are you serious?
Yeah. The last, probably from about, I don't know if it was 10 years probably. It was when he probably from about 75 to about 85. He was writing letters to this woman.
Would he meet her online or no?
No, I don't know how he even met her. I think he met her from one of those personal ads that he had placed or something like that in the New Yorker. Remember the old New Yorker personal ad?
I do remember those. Yeah.
It's my father. Actually, that's the only thing he ever spent a lot of money on. He
put a personal ad. Yeah.
He met this woman. She was in Westchester, which is probably maybe like a 50-minute ride from my dad. But that's like I told you how my dad used to drive. That's like 100 that could have been 1,000 miles from my dad, So he was always like, "You got to take me up there." I said, "All right, I'll take you up there. I'll take you." 10 years they never met. They talked on the phone all the time. They had fights like they were a couple.
Why didn't they ever meet?
Because my father was too traumatized, But the trip thing. He always had doctor's appointments and this appointment and that. His teeth hurt and this. I said, "Dad, know what?"
Maybe he was afraid if he met her, that the great relationship would go south, and he figured, it's safe to play it safe.
I said, "Dad, you have the best relationship of all time with this woman." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Because there's no blowing it with her. You don't really want a relationship anyway. You just want someone to talk to. You don't want to go any place with anyone. What are you gonna let her sleep at your house? It's a pigsty. You don't want anyone here. You just want someone that's convenient for you. This is great.
Too hot.
Talk to her 2 hours on the phone, and then you're done. That's it. You don't even have to go anywhere." He's like, "There's something wrong with you." I said, "But there's something wrong with you." I said, "But that's why the relationship works." I said, "Because you're sick," he said. I said, "It's the truth." I said, "Come on."
So did you ever read the letters that he would send her?
I didn't read them, but he would show me. They would send each other these pictures, probably from when they were 30 years old. Send each other. Yeah. I said, "Dad, I think this is an older picture of her." He's like, "Well, I sent her an old picture of myself too." I said, "Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys are attracted to the way you guys looked 30 years ago."
Oh, boy.
It's a shame, because if he would have lasted a little longer, if it would have been 10 years later, I probably could have probably not. I would have thought maybe on social media, he could have communicated with a webcam, but that would have been a nightmare for me because I would have had to hook the whole thing up and try to show it to him how to use it. And he
same thing on her end. She would have needed someone. But
my cousin was living there. My cousin was living there. He could have done it. So who knows? It's insane. So what did you see? Jay Cutler's got this great YouTube channel, but anything that Jay does, it's successful. Because look, he's 4-time Mr. Olympia, and he has that work ethic he puts into everything, just like he does anything. And so he's got a YouTube channel. The guy Dave, Borlay runs a lot of the videos there, but Jay does a couple videos. He'll actually be in the videos himself. and he went to see this gym. Hold on, let me pull this up. I thought it was pretty funny. He went back to California. It's called Fit Nation Gym. There it is. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull up the full screen. Fit Nation Gym, and I guess it's in Where is Norwalk, California? Do you know where that is?
No idea.
Guess who's there? Milos is there.
Milos Milos is in China, I thought.
Look, there's a soccer center. So Jay's like making his shakes before he goes in, and hold on. He's running into people in the parking lot. Yeah. Oh, it's freaking stupid. Hold on. Stupid ads pop. Jay's got the thing monetized. He's probably made $1 million off this one video already. Just I hate the ads that happen in the middle. I don't put ads in the middle of our videos because it's annoying. But it's okay. All right. So Jay goes into the gym and he runs into Milos.
The Jays, how you doing, Jays? Jay got a 4-time Miss Olympia.
I'm thinking, if Milos is there, right? I'm thinking that we're going to see some giant set between the two of them, right?
Yeah.
But Jay won't go for it. I don't think Jay will go. Jay won't do the insulin protocol, so he can't do the giant sets if he doesn't do the insulin protocol.
They look like cousins there.
Yeah, they do. They both have a good head of hair still.
Yeah, good, and they're both in great shape.
Yeah. Jay actually shows his quad somewhere. Let me see if I can find this. I'm showing his quads. Quads actually look pretty good.
He probably hasn't trained him in 4 years.
No, Jay trains all the time. There he is. Jay downsized, but he still looks good. You can tell he eats perfectly, probably.
Perfect.
Has 6 meals a day, probably still.
Brushes his teeth 4 times a day, I'm sure.
So here, hold on, here's Milos. Hold on. So look, Jay's legs look pretty good still, right?
Oh, it's competition side by side.
I think Milos has got better form.
Milos says, Jay, you put your chest out to get your lower Christmas tree a little bit more.
Well, have you seen the pictures of Milos recently that he's posted?
Yeah, he looks great.
He's in great shape.
Yeah, I know.
For 50, what is he, 56, I think he is, or something like that.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull the Milos pictures up from Instagram.
This is Jay pointing at the camera. He likes to point at the camera.
Yeah.
I gotta tell Dave Bolay that. Everything, Jay's monetizing everything. I'm doing bent over rows with my grips. I get the shoes on that I'm getting paid to wear.
You got it. Exactly. That's exactly right.
I just had my pre-workout that I make myself, right?
Everything is marketing that he's doing, right?
Yeah.
It's like subliminal marketing, though. It's not like
like when you see the Coke can in the movie.
That's right.
And then the people who support him, like, oh, Jay, I saw the Chic belts. He's been with Chic belts since he was like 20.
Has he really?
Chic belts.
I remember. Chic was a small. I'll tell you what's great about that company. I got a Chic belt company story. When I did a photo shoot at I think for Iron Man magazine, they had me in a Chic belt. Or maybe Muscle Mag. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I must have appeared in a magazine wearing their belt because one of the photographers gave it to me or something like that to wear. Or maybe I needed it for the lift. They contacted me and said, hey, I really appreciate you wearing the belt in that photo shoot. I'd like to send you something. And this is before, I think they sent me a letter or something like that. So I sent them my address and they mailed me like a box of so much stuff, belts and straps and knee wraps, and it was smart because then of course I'm going to recommend it to people, from that, and it was just nice of them to do that. They've been around for a long time.
You needed a shoulder wrap, not a knee wrap.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was the other weightlifting belt company that was
Cardillo?
No, before Cardillo, they were the first company with colorful belts.
Oh, really? There was someone before that, huh?
I went to the owner's house in Minnesota. I think it was Minnesota.
Then you should come up with the name. What's the name?
I know. His name was, they had, Chic kind of stole their, God, what was it? This guy, Dave, had a belt company and then it took off. And You know what? I remember. What do I remember,
Oh, but
Dave?
not Vallejo.
Vallejo.
Yeah, Vallejo was with that. I remember, what's his name? Lee Labrada used to wear that. Right? He did the Vallejo belt commercial.
Yes, and you know what? I forgot the name of the belt, but I remember what the guy's house looked like who owned the belt company.
Oh, really? Did he make a lot of money?
Oh, yeah. He had a lake house. And the house was, I think it was Minnesota. Yeah, I'm almost positive. The house was on the lake. And instead of having a two-car garage, he had a boathouse. So you could drive the boat around the lake and then just pull it right into, looks like a garage.
Oh, really?
Park it, and then get out on the dock, which is looks just like a garage, and walk into the house.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I love that. Oh no! Did we freeze? Did I lose Chris?
No, you still. Oh,
okay.
I'm still here.
I thought you went into a kidney stone,
pass
catatonic state.
I'll let you know. I'll try to freeze like that.
Yeah.
Froze. No, we didn't freeze.
All right. So here's the picture of Milos I was telling you about. You saw that one?
Yeah, I did see that one.
56 years old. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, it looks very good.
Remember he was on the show once with us, and he was telling us he's coming back. This is when he first moved back to the U.S.
Yeah.
People don't remember. Milos got kicked out of the U.S. He couldn't come back to the United States because he had some problems with the legal problems with his ex-wife or something like that. And so he was gone for a long time. Remember, did we run into him at FIBO or something like that? Or
yeah,
what are those?
Yes, yeah, he was gone a long time. We ran into him, and I remember you asked him the best. Do you remember the best question you asked, which was the most intriguing? Because I wanted to know.
What was
do you remember? It was, why did you stop competing? Because he would compete 10 times a year, and he told us that he took a break. He just wanted to take 1 year off from training. I can't remember what it was. Overcome a couple injuries. Add a little bit more size. He said, and the passion just went away, which is bizarre because he's so passionate for bodybuilding.
But then I also told him the other piece of advice. I told him, I said, stop getting married. Remember I told him that?
Yes, you told him that.
No, I found the woman girl I love. Of course, it didn't work out. As soon as he broke up with her, we got him back to the U.S. So he needs to be in this environment. He's great. It was so stupid why he wasn't back here either. It was just he had to just answer some stupid, hire a lawyer and just answer some stupid charge. It was the dumbest thing of all time that he actually left. But because he probably lost a lot of money being out of the action for a while. Because Milos is he's like Dennis James. Those guys rake in the money. I don't know. They're very popular internationally, those guys. Because Dennis lived abroad in Germany and Thailand. And Milos obviously is from, Serbia and wherever else he lived. And so they're well known and they make a lot of money internationally. So I think that... Milos has been going to China. Maybe Milos brought the COVID here.
Yeah, no, Milos was in China when I was in China.
I heard Milos has the COVID vaccine already. He's been given.
No, that's George.
No, George invented it, but I think that they gave it to Milos because just because he's traveling back and forth to China. They said we'll give you the vaccine. So you see the European Union is just trying to decide whether or not to allow Americans to come. Really? It's amazing. Right?
What's that?
According to the Chinese, they don't have any more cases of it.
Yeah, right.
How come it disappeared? I think they're just not reporting it anymore. That's the key.
They're tired of being blamed, so they're just went away. It's your problem now.
Well, yeah, Trump calls it the Chinese virus, right?
The Kung flu.
The Kung flu.
That's what he calls it.
He does have him and Lonnie Teeper might be neck and neck.
There's nobody who has better nicknames than Donald Trump.
Right?
Yeah.
Crooked Hillary. Who else has he got?
Sleepy Jeb Bush. No, low IQ, low energy Jeb Bush.
And Chris doesn't even like Trump, and he's giving him some good credibility there. With
I can't stand him. But I always tell people, I said that I can still find good policy decisions that people make. Just because you can't stand them doesn't mean that they're not always 100% wrong.
It's got to be. I would imagine it's got to be tough, being president during this time right now.
Holy smokes!
talk about stress.
Insane.
I would want to retire at this point. I'd be like, you know what? Let someone else take this thing over, man. I saw you put up a good picture on your Instagram. When was that shot from?
Bob Gruskin's second bedroom. I don't even know. I don't even know what that was from.
It's like a Frank Zane shot.
Yeah. You know who texted me right after that or said something on it? Jerry Scalise. It said, "What did Bob make you do that shot 100 times?" Bob would take the same shot 100 times and throw 99 of them in the trash.
Of course. That's the way you get the best pictures. People think you take when you see these great pictures in the magazine that you had 100 of them like that. That was one picture that looked that way. You know. I remember Blackman would go through this with the magnifying glass, looking at the slides. What do you think about this one? How do you like this picture?
The slides always look better though, right?
I can't see stereoscopically. He's like, how come you're holding one eye? I said, because Steve, I can't look through one eye. I can't close my one eye. I got to close this one and look through this one. What? Yes, Alan, you think this one's better? Should we go with this one? I think Kai's glutes look a little tighter in this one. Look, Dave, look at this one. Steve, they both look the same to me. No. Look at how the way he's twisted here in this one.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Kai's variety show.
Oh, you know what? I thought I talked about it on After Hours. I guess it must have happened after we did the radio show last week. I'm glad you brought it up. What did you think about Kai's variety show? I love it.
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I just spun through it like 1/1,000,000th of a second to see if. I
have to admit, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did watch parts of it, and I thought it was. I think it's brilliant. I do. I love that Kai's being so creative. To me, this is all Kai. I love that he does monologues in the thing too. Although I would have preferred it if he was wearing a suit rather than his what does he wear there?
What do you love about the monologue?
I think it's so Kai. It's like the whole a variety show. I just I thought we talked about this. We
did not.
Flip Wilson. I think remember Flip Wilson?
Of course.
That's what I think of when I see that. Kai is like a modern day Flip Wilson. People were like, what's so ridiculous? People making fun of Kai because he dressed up as a woman in the thing. I'm like, it's a variety show. All these comedians do it. Robin Williams dressed up as a woman. You're gonna make fun of him? He's one of the greatest comedians of all time. Let me put this thing on.
Mr. Chappelle didn't. Right?
God, that's his model. I like how he's got the little curtain and everything like that. And he's got his little cast of characters. That's Paulie Nelson.
I knew you'd love this, Dave, because this is what you did in
Paulie
the studio.
Nelson was like wearing this with the wig on, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. It must have taken them a long time to do this thing. Because
how often is he going to do it?
I don't know. I think it could be picked up by someone. I really do. I think it's that good.
Well, who cares? It's got 5 million people following him. So, I mean, it's already picked up. It's picked up by him.
That's true. No, I think that's why he decided to do it. I think he figured no network's going to go for it. Look at this thing.
Yeah, I know what you love, Dave. You love this, huh?
I love that they got costumes on and they choreograph things and they got special effects and it's goofy, but you know what? That's what's so charming about it. It's very creative. I don't know if Kai had anything to do with the actual editing of the show or anything like that, but I have to imagine. Oh, this is a good one right here. This is great.
What's it? Jackson 5 there? Huh?
It must be, right? I wonder if I can get the audio to play on this thing. I'll probably lose the monetization to get it. This is great, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they must be doing the Jackson 5 here. Except there's only 3 of them. Kai is just, this is his personality.
Yeah,
He's an actor. You know, a lot of people.
Is he singing there, Dave? Is he actually singing or is he lip syncing?
I don't know. That's a good question. Can you hear that?
No, I can't. My kidney stones in the way.
He's lip syncing. But we don't care because I wanted to see Kai act. It's great. I like that he's got a whole entourage and of an ensemble with him. You know what I mean? He's got all these, and they're all good too. All actors, and they're all in good shape. It's phenomenal.
I think he just pirated that from that scene. That looks like a.
He's just copying, scenes from movies.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Yeah.
There's the mini Kai. Did you see that little mini Kai?
Yeah. It's kind of like Sesame Street meets Michael Jackson meets Kai Green meets.
Come on, how could someone not like this?
How many views did it get? Probably a zillion.
No, it's not as many as you think. It's only got 52,000 views, which for Kai's channel is not.
Yeah.
So they did the Ike Turner, Venom 4 and 5 Lizard, Toad, Dark Samurai. That's funny. Pauline Nelson was Tina Turner. Venom's a snake. Mini Kai was Mini Kai. That's funny. Let me go to the beginning. Hold on. I love the sets. I'm sure they're not really sets. I'm sure they're just.
They look like the old Sesame Street set.
Yeah. That's exactly what it reminds me of. There's the Mini Kai. Look at Mini Kai. Did he copy that from us, Mini Kai?
From the Bleckman doll, I think.
Yeah, I think he saw the Bleckman puppet, and he went with the. Maybe he got his first.
Maybe you could get Bleckman to come on the show as a guest.
Maybe I could borrow the Kai puppet for my puppet show. He could bring him in.
The reclusive billionaire special.
Doesn't Kai look like he's completely at home though doing this? This
is
like,
totally.
I don't know. He looks like this is what he wants to do.
You can only guest post so many times a year, right? Seriously. Because that's his way of entertaining people.
This is his creative outlet. This is his creative outlet. Hold on. The Mini Kai talks. Hold on. I gotta get some audio on this, Chris. This is too much. Holy shit. How can I get audio on this thing? I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind.
It kind of reminds me of the how many times have I told you to do like a muscular development show?
Yeah. Let's play this. Hold on here. You can hear it now.
Great try, Mini Kai. Next time, try to sing from your diaphragm. Yeah, your diaphragm.
Diaphragm? What's that?
The diaphragm is a muscle that's located beneath your lungs. It's the major muscle for respiration. If you breathe with your diaphragm, inhale and exhale using your diaphragm, you'll be able to support your note a little bit better.
Oh.
How about you try?
Do you mean like this?
I like the laugh track.
I should have never.
Okay, so we're trying to like when we're trying to work with ourselves, being patient with ourselves, and deal with that childlike influence to help it along to become better, to do better. And yeah, Mini Kai is he's my friend, my companion. When I think about what it looks like when I have that internal dialogue, that conversation with myself, in an effort to help me overcome some of the naivety that allows me to navigate myself better in this world. All right, on that note, up you go, buddy.
I like the sound effects, right? And the laugh track they got. See what we're reduced to talking about? We're reduced to talking about Kai Green puppets and stuff like that because there's nothing going on in bodybuilding, really.
That's where we're at.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do my, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I'm doing my Diet Guru, Secrets to Becoming a Diet Guru course. I'm doing it online. I broke down. I have a partner who's built this interface. It's kind of like the Zoom education that the kids are using, except it's a separate interface, and people will be able to sign up for the course. I'm going to teach it from 9 to 5 with an hour lunch break on, I think, July 11th. I'll start posting it on my MyDavePalumbo.com website. You can sign up. People have been driving me crazy for it, and I feel bad. I haven't given it, and you know what? A lot of guys internationally want to take it. It doesn't look like this thing is breaking anytime soon. You can't travel. I'm going to have to do it. So it took a while before we found an interface that was going to, I was comfortable teaching via, where I can put up stuff on like a chalkboard, and I can upload my manual there, and so people can, follow along what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. And so I'm going to do it as a test run on probably July 11th. And if it works out well and people enjoy it, then I might start doing some more education stuff, which I actually would like to pull you in to do some education stuff, because people, you do a nice seminar as well. So
I got to pass my kidney stone first.
Yeah, you.
And I got to bring the crystal.
I bet you should call George Farry. He probably's got a kidney stone remedy.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. He's the kidney specialist.
There you go.
Seriously, nobody would know more about kidneys than George, because
he only has one.
I know.
He lost one I think from the gunshot, right?
Yeah.
So it's kidney stones are not fun. And I know you've been struggling, so I'm not going to keep you on too long, because I know you're uncomfortable, and Chris is going to probably wind up, you know what you got to do? You should, if you go to the hospital, okay, when you go in there, you should film you should have your wife film the whole thing. Because I think that I have a feeling it's not going to be a typical hospital visit that you're used to going to, because there's going to be so many. I want to see what the COVID conditions are now in the hospital.
I haven't been to the hospital since I had cancer. That's how long I have not been to a hospital.
That's why you're afraid to go. That's why you're afraid to go. It's a psychological thing.
Yeah.
But
and I was as afraid of the COVID germs.
Yeah.
As I was of the kidney stone.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I went to the doctor, Chris. I've gone to a dental appointment. I've gone to a dermatologist appointment. Now, I hate to say it, I enjoy going to the doctor better now with the COVID thing, because there's no waiting room anymore. There's no one in the waiting room. You have to sit in your car. At least the dentist, sit in your car. You call them. All right, come on up. You're the only one there. They go right in. There's no waiting. Because I hate waiting. That to me drives me nuts. The doctor, the dermatologist, I went into the lobby. They had a person check by temperature. All right, go up in the elevator. I go up there, right into the room. 2 seconds later, the people came in and treated. They have everyone spaced perfectly so that no one's waiting anywhere around anyone else. And for me, I don't mind going to the doctor when I don't have to wait. If I have to sit in a waiting room for 3 hours with fucking other people, I don't like it. But
yeah, you don't have time to wait.
Well, yeah, it's not even that. It drives me crazy. I'm bored. Even though I have my phone and everything, I just get bored. So to me, this is great. You go right in. I don't mind waiting to book an appointment a couple days later, because they can't fit everyone in. Because before it was a cattle call. They put I saw like my dad now. Cattle call. They jam as many people as they can in during the day, and of course they always overbook it. So you wind up waiting. Unless you're the first appointment. So, yeah, you'll be all right. I'm sure.
I'll keep you posted. Yeah. I'm running out of perks.
Like I said, I
gotta go.
Yeah, you got Blackman. He's the kidney stone expert, really. You call him. Chris, just tell him you need the
no protein shake
here in at Stony Brook. You come out here, they run this little thing up your penis. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad.
Kai had the Kai doll. Didn't you have a picture of Blackman recently with was it a Blackman doll or?
Well, we have the Blackman puppet.
I know, but he had a doll. You had undisclosed photos.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't even put it up, just out of I should have. It was funny. Someone sent me a picture of Blackman hugging this bear or something like that. I think it was his birthday. And it's ironically enough, one of my clients, his best friend is friends with Blackman's son-in-law. And so Yeah, there was. I got a picture of Steve at his house. I think it's his new house too, because it wasn't the house that he was living in when I was there. It's a nice house right on the north shore of Long Island. You can look that up in your real estate book there, Chris.
I'm sure.
Probably a very expensive house.
That's fortunate. Was it right on the water or no?
Yeah, it was. It was. His old house wasn't. So this has got to be a new house.
Yeah.
I showed it to Romano too, so it's definitely a new house.
You can have a show on it, dissect it.
Well, I said, is this that? Because John's been to his house. I never was to his house. John was to his house. John's like, that's not his house. I said, well, it's his house now. So I said, he must have moved. I think when he sold the Aspen house, he probably bought another house here on Long Island.
Oh, he did sell the Aspen house.
Yeah, he sold that. I never saw that one, but John said that was like right up there. I think he was next door to Ivana Trump, excuse me. I think they were next to neighbors in Aspen.
He'd still rather live next to Kai.
Yeah. Oh, he would. Absolutely. Jay on one side, Kai on the other side. That's the dream setup. All right, Chris, go. I know you're in pain. I can see you squirming around in your chair.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll all say a prayer for Chris. Hopefully he gets that kidney stone passed before he wakes up in the morning so he doesn't have to go to the hospital. That's my I'm sending good juju towards you.
Okay, I'll accept it. I'm
sending you a lot of sound waves to break up that.
Okay. You want to do maybe we should have Kai do a song on the show about it.
Da, 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 da. You could do a little Michael Jackson feud. When he starts moon dancing, all of a sudden the stone will go right out. right into your toilet bowl. Then you got to reach down and grab the stone so you can analyze
Sell it on eBay.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Remember, guys, as we say every week, with Heavy Muscle Radio,
the truth hurts.
Good night, everyone. Say a prayer for Chris Aceto.